Hello, Kathy Smith. Welcome to Unscripted, our new talk show from WG Content.
Hello, it's so nice to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so nice to have you. I'm so honored that you're joining me on this very new journey that we're doing here at WG Content. These are designed to be just really personal, very short conversations to get to know you, get to know our guests. So we're really not going to talk about work. We're not going to talk about all the really big things that you're doing at Roper St. Francis, which I know you're doing really big things there. But we're going to just talk more about you personally and your life and kind of what you're up to. So it's a little unscripted and it's a little scary, but also super fun. And I'm excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm very honored. This is fun.
Yeah. So let's get started. So if our audience doesn't know Kathy actually is the Chief Marketing and Digital Officer at Roper St. Francis in Charleston, South Carolina, a beautiful place. So welcome, Kathy. So we were just saying you're a very, very busy person. You have a very big job. So talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you like to do in your downtime, if you have any. So what kind of, we're going into a weekend and hopefully you have some downtime in your life. What are some of the things that you like to do during your downtime?
Absolutely. Well, I have the pleasure of living here in beautiful Charleston, South Carolina. My husband and I moved here 3 years ago after 20 plus years in the Baltimore area. So there is no shortage of
Yeah.
great things to do in this wonderful city and area. Um, some of the things that I've really tried to pay attention to is actually planning things for my downtime. I
Yeah.
do work a lot. I love my work. But in these last few years in particular, and with this move, I really committed to making time
Good
for
for you. Yeah.
hobbies and activities for me. So some of the things that I've really gotten into, I learned how to play golf my first year here.
Mhm.
I don't play it a lot, but I know
Mhm.
how, so I can go out
Okay.
the to
That takes a lot of patience.
yeah, exactly. But what I am doing regularly now is I next learn tennis, and I
Okay.
actually have been committing to tennis, and I try to play at least once a week or go to a clinic.
Okay.
I also had gotten a Peloton back pre-COVID bike, and I started getting into that, but I was very intermittent with it.
Yeah.
Uh, Here, I found this really fun studio cycle to be a part of.
Okay.
It's a great multi-age community that a
Yeah.
lot of regulars, and they have studio downtown as well as near my house in Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun. So I try to go there a couple times a week. And then I also decided I wanted to learn reformer Pilates. So I don't do it a
Oh
lot,
boy.
but at least I know how.
Yeah.
Physical activity has been intermittent for me over my life and my career, and it's something that I found is great for me for so many reasons. And so I've really
Yeah.
been trying
Well,
to do
you're
that.
doing that sounds like an amazing job balancing all of those things. I mean, golf is one of those really intense personal games, it's quiet and it's really, you have to be so focused on your own skills, right? And tennis with another person, but the Peloton or is it Peloton biking that you're doing? It's like a
It's
studio and then
studio
certainly
bar.
Pilates. I
Yeah.
Pilates can be torture. I do Pilates myself and it's very hard.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard. Well, that's awesome. How about travel? You have any fun travel plans coming up?
So we're empty nesters. We have two sons who actually decided to move to the area after we did to get their first
Okay.
jobs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we've got more time now to make plans, and we do have a list of places that we're trying to check off that we want to go to. And actually, this year, my husband's desire was to go on a really big trip to South Africa. So we leave shortly to do that. Part city, part safari, and for me,
Wow.
it's definitely out of my comfort zone. I know it's going to be amazing, but it's definitely something that personally, being up close to wildlife,
Oh, wow.
it's going to be
That's on my bucket list
a
for
challenge
sure.
for me.
Yes.
I know everybody says no, it's going to be great. You're going to love it, and you're going to be so proud that you did it. So I'm
So
looking forward.
why'd you guys pick South Africa? I mean,
His parents had done a safari. His
okay.
did one. We kind of thought right now we have the ability to do it. We have
Mhm.
physical capabilities to travel that far and to do
Mhm.
something that takes a little bit more energy, mental
Mhm.
and physical. So we
Right.
thought, why don't we start doing these kinds of things while we're able?
Yeah.
We can always do, some of the other types of tours and countries that are a little bit less, physically or mentally challenging in our future.
Okay. Well, we're going to check in with each other when you get back from that trip because I want to hear all about that. I
Sure.
mean, the animals, and I hear there's great wine in South Africa. You guys are going to have an amazing time. And the thing that we'll have to hold you accountable to is that there's no work, right?
No, Nope. It's
You probably can't even get Wi-Fi, so
cut
there's
off.
no.
Well, maybe, but it's
Yeah,
6 to 7 hour time difference. And when
yeah,
I am one of the things that I actually am pretty good at is when I do take a big trip, meaning
yeah,
I've never taken, 2 weeks before really, but
yeah,
even just a week or whatever, I have been pretty good over the years of saying, this is, I'm not
yeah.
going to work unless, the world starts burning down. But
Right.
typically it has been a pretty good cutoff, and I've been pretty good about that.
That's great. Yeah. And I think too, so much of that says a lot too about your team. Like when you have a really good team, we're not here to talk about work. That's right.
Yep,
Right. But I think that's a big thing. I mean, you personally have this leadership style and that you've built this great culture and this great team, that you feel confident and comfortable,
100%. And
take.
it's good for them, for me not to be around sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. I can understand that for sure. So talk to us a little bit about your life as a kid. So you mentioned you lived in Baltimore and now you're in Charleston. Where did you grow up? And talk to us about your family and you as a
Sure. Yeah.
teenager.
So I grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina. I
Okay.
was actually born in Columbia, South Carolina, but quickly my family moved to North Carolina with my mom and dad. And then I had a little brother. He's 4 years younger than I am. He still
Okay.
lives in the Greensboro area, as does my dad. My mom's now passed. So really spent my whole life there. I was a pretty disciplined kid. I had my father was very strict, and so it was very difficult, even if I wanted to get in trouble. But
Okay.
I was pretty goal oriented. I really enjoyed school. I was a
Yeah.
cheerleader for parts of my, junior high and high school.
Yeah.
I was kind of a bridge kid, meaning like I had friends in lots of different
Oh, I've never heard that expression. Yeah.
um, and it's something I actually kind of look back on with a little bit of pride that I
Yeah.
had these different friends, and I was kind of like
Mhm.
in between lots of different, groups and cliques that you find in your high school
Yeah.
years in particular. And my one thing that's kind of interesting to share is my mom had a lot of disabilities. She had had a brain tumor before brain tumor surgery was available and things like that. So she had a lot of disabilities from that, and that's something that I know really
Mhm.
impacted my desire to get into healthcare.
Mhm.
And so growing up, we had, some of those challenges that I experienced
Yeah.
with having a mother with disabilities. And I think it did leave a lasting impact on me and how I approach my career as well as just kind of life in general.
And what would you say is like if you had kind of to synthesize that into who you are today and that experience and kind of how that
Yeah,
changed who you are?
yeah, absolutely. So just I think maybe just a little bit more sensitive and empathetic
Mm-hmm.
to those around me, and
Mm-hmm.
being very aware of how our world and surroundings can
Mm-hmm.
limit folks who have
Yeah.
disabilities, or can cause them to feel less empowered,
Mm-hmm.
or sort of cast aside.
Mm-hmm.
And so just being very cognizant of that. And it's been helpful in that my husband actually has a couple of different chronic conditions, diabetes type 1 for one. And I think it's made me a really strong partner
Mm-hmm.
to him, because based on compared to what my mom had,
Mm-hmm.
like diabetes is still incredibly serious, and
Mm-hmm.
it can be very quality of life limiting
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. But it's like a piece of cake in a way compared to some
Mm-hmm.
of the other stuff that my mom experienced and that I experienced growing up with her
Yeah. Yeah.
situation.
And
Yeah,
where is your brother today? Is he near
he's
you?
in Winston-Salem,
Okay. Okay.
and
And it
my
was the two
dad's
of you,
still
right? You said it was you and your brother?
just me and my
Okay.
brother. I was the older sister. Everything that goes with
Yeah,
oldest
the older child.
daughter all came with that
Yeah.
package.
Yeah. Well, when we have time, I want to hear more about your mom and
Oh,
all of that.
thanks.
So
Yeah,
I know we just try to keep these to these short time,
absolutely.
but I would love to learn more about that experience for you. Um, but I think we're almost already at the 10 minutes. I know it goes so fast. So we want to do this really fun thing that we do at the end of every conversation where we ask you these would you rather questions. And so, like all of these questions, you don't know any of them that we're asking you. So I'm going to read them off and you're just going to go with your gut and we're going to
Okay.
learn a little bit about you. All
Okay.
right. So, would you rather always have to sing instead of speak or dance everywhere you go?
I think dance everywhere I go.
Yeah, I think I'd pick the same one. Would you rather give up coffee or snacks during the workday?
Snacks.
Okay. Would you rather be famous for your karaoke skills or your recipe for, it says here chili, but like maybe you have a famous recipe. I don't know
Oh,
if that,
recipe. I like to
yeah.
cook.
Okay, so you'd be rather, what's your famous recipe?
Oh, I don't know that I have a famous, truly.
What's your
Chocolate
favorite
chip
thing to cook?
pretty good.
What
The
was
chocolate
it?
chip cookies I make are pretty good.
Okay, chocolate chip cookies. Well, those are good. Would you rather spend a week in the mountains with no Wi-Fi or a week at the beach with your inbox constantly pinging?
Beach.
All right. And final one, would you rather write a 50-page white paper in a day or give a surprise presentation to a client with no prep?
Surprise.
Me too. All right. I think we have some more in common there. All right. So the final question is, just in light of all of the, we're all under a lot of stress and chaos and things in the world today. I would love to hear from you. What is bringing you joy? What's amazing to you today and bringing you joy?
Sure. So two things come to mind right away. The first is I'm completely amazed that I raised two independent, amazing sons, and I'm just amazed every day by what they're doing in their lives, with their work, with their relationships, with their friends, with the things that they're choosing to do and how
Yeah.
they're living their life. So I'm amazed by them. And then the other would be kind of back to work. I truly am amazed
Yeah.
by my organization and my team, and most importantly, is my team. I'm
Mm-hmm.
amazed at all that we're accomplishing together. We're a
Mm-hmm.
very new team over the last 3 years, and um, I just am so proud of what
Mm-hmm.
we're accomplishing together. And
You
it's
should be.
amazing
Yeah.
to me that I get to help and
Yeah.
raise people
Yeah.
within the organization to achieve their goals as well.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I mean, I've worked with your team for a long time and they're just so kind, just a very
Yeah.
sweet, kind team. And you are as well. And that says a lot about you. So, and you have two grown boys and so do I. So at some point we'll have to talk about that too. So,
Absolutely.
but that's it. We've wrapped up our unscripted conversation and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to have this conversation with me. And if you have any suggestions or, of other guests that we should have on, let me know.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Take
Kirsten.
care.